Welcome. We are live. Welcome to the Nasty Leroy Talk Show. I'm your host, Nasty Leroy, aka That Man. Uh, my guest co-host is Carlos. Introduce yourself to the people who don't know you.
My name is Carlos Estrada. I go by C3LOS77 on X. I'm part of the Wrestle Collective, also part of the Fans of Pro Wrestling. Um, I've been doing spaces for about 4 years now, I think, or 3 years. Yeah, it's been pretty long. I think 4 years. We pretty much cover AEW, WWE. I do spaces on Mondays and Wednesdays. Was honored to meet Nasty Leroy from coming on to our spaces. Always appreciated him because he would come on and give the perspective of somebody in the business, give us some hot take, give us some insider information. And yeah, I'm just again a nice friendship that's been formed here. Appreciate being asked to be on the show with you, Nasty Leroy, and let's get it started.
Yes, sir. Let's get it started. So, as I always do this, I always have to shout out the people that's making their rounds, or as I call it, on the underground circuit of alternative wrestling, as somebody told me to say. But I like to pick let's right out the gate, like to pick a person and I feel that is next up, and then also I like to pick a person that is hottest on the scene right now. Now, the first one I'm gonna pick is the hottest on the scene right now. The hottest on the scene right now, Lily, as we speak, is my boy Darian Banks is doing his thing. But I've all talked about him a whole bunch a lot because uh, if you watch Georgia Championship Wrestling, you would see the most funniest entrance that I've probably seen in a while with Adam Priest, Tiger Style himself, Lee Moriarty, and Darian Bankston. As I don't know why it's funny. It's just funny to me, but the music they're coming out to, the dancing, Adam Priest try not to sell it, but he's selling it anyway. Um, so I would say him, but as we have another one that people should know, and if you don't know, my former opponent and rival Adam Priest is a one that is the hottest right now. The one that you need to watch out for is Darian Bankston, and as we have two, I always have two, because I can't decide. Another person that you should be on the lookout for uh, is goes by the name of the Big Brody himself, Brody Booker, and he's the one fall heavyweight champion. So, how to start coming out on the scene. You know, you might know him from his former employer if you watch that promotion. Um, I don't know what his name. I think his name was like Brody Highwood or something like that. He told me. I don't know. I wasn't watching NXT at the time. I mean, I'll probably clip it. Um, but him, he's how he's coming out. What was it? What's the word? Reestablish. What would it say? Reestablish his career. The second one would be the one I've been on many shows with him, and I like to say he's doing really good. But he's actually in another lane. Actually, he's not just in wrestling. He's actually in I'll call it the slap fighting. I can't just call it power slap. But shout out to my boy Stunt Marshall. The hate one himself. He's out here in he's in two different, one sport and one entertainment. I say both from sports, but people get mad about that. Um, so Stunt Marshall out there making his way. He's been slept on a lot of times. I feel like on the independent scene, and now good he is, but he's been doing his thing in wrestling and in power slap, as it's naturally called, but I call it slap fighting. And then the other one, you always gotta go to my boy Trevor Outlaw. Trevor Outlaw doing his thing. He's stepping into his bag. I've been, if you have an IWTV subscription, definitely check out Freelance Wrestling. Um, those are the ones I would I would be watching out for. The next up people would be a lot of, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of one fall people that I, were, it sounds shameless to plug my own promotion, but we got a lot of good talent. The one that you should be watching out for is Angelica Risk and Hyena Hair, which is really on the rise. I feel, uh so those are mine. Carlos, if you got some.
Well, I would definitely say Michael Oku is one I think a lot about. Danny Limelight's another one you see in AEW. I love what Cal Hero does in OVW. Charles Mason, your boy, I love what he's doing. Again, he's one that I
My
follow
boy.
a lot. Oh, not your boy? Okay.
My boy.
I mean, just Gal, he's part of it, and he's also he's somebody he's a WWID person, so I don't know if he's still kind of independent, but he's been doing a lot of good stuff there. Starboard Charlie is somebody who wrestles a lot here on the West Coast. He's and then Titus as well. I think he's killing it as well. Yeah, and then also I love what Alan Angels has been doing. He's been wrestling a lot, in the independents here. He's a former Prestige champion. For me, like I really champion those people who kind of left AEW. They didn't leave bitter. They took advantage of their contract, and then now they're building themselves on the independents, and I think making independent wrestling stronger. So I think that's a really beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Speaking of people I've been on the show with, Michael Oko, like when I seen, so this is how I know when you're really good. If somebody that's really equally good tells me about your stuff, and they be like, I see you, and you show out like you normally do, then yeah, you're really good. So, I was on for the. No, I don't think I was on for the culture. Was I on for the culture? No, I don't think so. No, I was there. I was there, and I saw Michael Oku at GCW and stuff. And yeah, he's really, really fantastic wrestler. I think one of my favorite wrestlers, one of my favorite matches is him and Will Ospreay for the Rep Pro World Championship. So that was dope. Um, so go check that out. Um, and one of the things before I get to later of Rap Bastard of the Week and stuff, before I get down to later down the road, I actually have a topic that, speaking of Rep Pro, I am extremely happy for everybody at Repro. A place that I definitely want to wrestle and will wrestle at some point. Um, and I'm happy for everybody that are getting to get the spotlight shown on with Mercedes Moné coming over there. Like it's a I think it's a great thing. A lot of women get to show their talent to more of a bigger audience or people that don't really are familiar with rap pro. I'm gonna be honest, and this is how I am. I don't know if this is bitter. I don't know if this comes off of this or whatever, but most people, other than the TNT title, TNT belt, other than the few people that I know and Carlos, I don't think they know half of the promotions. So it's good that you have Mercedes being the star that she is, going to Red Pro and helping people and help people selling mail and all the promotions, and a Winnipeg Pro and stuff like that, and like elevating women's wrestling, elevating independent wrestling. To be honest, not gonna lie, this it makes things better. Um, you know,
I
I
think
don't.
what they're doing, I think like people want to dog on Mercedes is she's charging $25,000 like that, but it's like most wrestlers don't do that. Like I was listening to another podcast, I think it might have been In the Weeds, which I love. Again, shout out to Fightful. I love the work they do. Sorry, Body Sunday. But but they're just, it's like I just like they're saying a lot of wrestlers won't even go out the door for 30,000. And the fact that she goes there, she's elevating the women, they're becoming better wrestlers because they get to wrestle with her. I think that's a big thing. I mean, seeing what she's done has inspired us. Again, the Wrestle Collective, we're going to be doing a show on Sundays, this Sunday called the Queen's Road, where we just shout out women's wrestling, and I think, and part of that inspiration came from what she's doing, I think it's a great time to be a fan of women's wrestling. That's something I've really praised Tony Khan for as well. He allows all these different women that he's not utilizing right now. Your Nyla Roses, your all your other women, that don't get a lot of TV time right now. Your Don, even though Dion is on Ring of Honor, just that they're allowed to go work independent bookings, and I just think that in a way. He's funding independent wrestling because he's allowing these women to make good money, but yet go elevate women's wrestling into smaller promotions. I think that's a really cool thing. I mean, I just again, it's a fun time to be a fan of women's professional wrestling and just wrestling in general. I love what we're seeing on Independence.
Yeah, I said I came in. I came at the in the tail of your spaces, and I said, we gotta shout out Dave Prazak, of giving a lot of the women that came through the Burger Eagles Club and Shimmer. Like basically, I ain't gonna lie. I'm about to hit a deep cut for a lot of people. Um, the first time I seen, for most American fans and most mainstream fans that know as Bailey, I saw what the fuck was her any name? Davina Rose. I saw Davina Rose the first time at Shimmer, and I she was already this is the weird thing for me. She was already a good baby face, I think, there, and was I was thinking, okay, she's gonna be a career baby face in her career, like never really return. Like I would always say, she's gonna be those Ricky the Dragon and Steamboat type of baby faces that never really turned. And so, uh, my my good old manager slash friend, who I'm not gonna get into this topic today without him because he'd be mad. He'd be like, "Oh, you talk about my topic without me." But he has an affinity where we literally get into, I don't even say arguments, but we get into like disagreements about what the word is, not currently being a babyface, but is it he thinks it's easier to be a babyface than it is a heel. And I feel like if you are a babyface for years and you never turn, that is that's a good thing of your character, of like you never like. But I also get what he's talking about having depth, and like, you could be a babyface and have depth. But I also think he thinks that you have to be a stupid babyface, or you have to be not like you can be tough but stupidly tough and whatever. But I also come from the mindset of like, I like people who don't turn, who are still getting cheered years and years and years and years on. Um, and I thought that's what Davina Rose is gonna be. So for her being as a heel, that was different. I was like, it's cool. It was cool. I just can't never like, not I can't take her seriously as a heel, but it's like I saw you as babyface most of your career. Even watching you in WWE. Like, it's just some people I feel like are made for babyfaces, but you know, that's
Oh, I
what
mean,
it is.
Heel Bailey was like the best thing about the pandemic era,
Yeah,
and I think like the women like Oscar and even like Mercedes too, like because I don't know, just the way they would yell at each other. Like I mean, and I love like the women. I love women's wrestling during the pandemic era because even with no crowd, like the way they let their personality shine, and like, it was like the women like they were some of the best MVPs of the pandemic era. But yeah,
oh
I
yeah,
think with wrestling fans we get fickle and like again, Brian Danielson said the best word. We get fickle and we get tired of somebody being a baby face, and you got to turn heel now. It's like we don't have
he
we
definitely
don't
could.
appreciate people. For when as like you said, I think it's definitely harder to be a baby face than it is a heel. It's definitely easier to be a heel, especially for women. 'Cause I think fans just want to naturally hate some of them sometimes. So I'm on your side with that argument. So when you're naturally a baby face and you're over, that's appreciate that shit because that's hard.
I'm saying. He gonna be like, "What? You talked about this stuff without me?" Um, but he don't. I sent him the stream, so that's what, if you don't want to come in here. Um, ah, I, you. You don't know. You want to know the one thing people don't know? I'm about to break this. A lot of people don't know about me. I am a big women's wrestling fan, and because I'm a big women's wrestling fan, I have a lot of stuff in there that I do in my arsenal from time to time that I might want to pull out. That some legends have pulled out, and it's not like a finisher or nothing like that, or nothing like that. I can do the widow's peak and probably will do it on the show if I feel like it. Cause I did the Cobra one time because I just felt like it. Um,
You gonna put it on cheeseburger?
no, I didn't do get. I should have done it on cheeseburger, but I did it at a one fall show, and I did it at a place. I just Cobra the shit out of him. I was like,
Oh
ah!
damn!
The way he saw it, he was like this. Ah. But no, like the striking, like a lot of my strikes are Dusty Rhodes and are like different people or like are bros that I like. It is Eddie Kingston and stuff. What I've told in many interviews and stuff. But most people don't know. My jabs don't even. My jabs are Dusty, but like my palm strikes that I do are Victoria. I got that shit from Victoria. Like I I saw it one time, like studying, and I was like, you know what? She has good palm strikes. I think I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna do that. So occasionally I'll pop like a. People think, well, that's your the Rock move. Like, nah, it's really Victoria to be honest. So yeah, I was still like, I ain't gonna steal. I ain't gonna say I steal. I'll take inspiration from different women that I like of their moves that I could do in my move set because I saw an interview that Eddie Kingston said where he come up with his back fist. He said he got it from not Awesome. He said he got it from Aja Khan. Like he got his back
Nice.
fist from. So I mean, greatness is greatness, man. You just do shit. Um, People gonna be thinking like, if I pop a Hurricane one time, they gonna be like, "Oh, you got that from Kelly?" No, I got that from like Lucha. Um,
Kelly
but
Kelly.
no, yeah,
I love you,
our
Kelly
friend
Kelly,
was
man.
saying some shit. Our friend was saying some shit like that. It's the way he was like the way you do a Hurricane. I've only done it like once in training, but I will pop it out on a big show. That's the thing about me is you never know when I'm gonna pop out or what I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna, I'm
pop
gonna
out
see.
because
I'm gonna need to see last. I'm gonna need to see Nasty Leroy doing her Corona.
yeah, I've been hyping it up for a lot of different people. So maybe like one GCW show or one fall show, I might just pop it out and people are like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, I didn't know you know how to do lucha libre. I was like, I know how to do a lot of stuff. All right, man. Listen, I'm training with the best. Come on now.
It's gonna be
Acting
like
like
when they saw Hulk. It's gonna be like when they saw Hulk Hogan in Japan when they see you wrestling lucha.
yeah. Not to be compared to the Hogan. It's crazy. Sort of like that. Yeah. Yeah, horse in Paris, and that's crazy. But all right. Um, Nah, but Shimmer Wrestling, like I always tell people, I think all that stuff is on hotspots.com on their streaming service. But like I used to have matter of fact, let me show this. This shelf used to be full of Shimmer DVDs. Not gonna hold you. It used to be this really mainly used to be. So um it used to be on that particular shelf of like a whole bunch of Shimmer DVDs and stuff. But we sold it because we trying to get into the world of professional wrestling because the shit costs money. So we was like, oh, let's see how much we get, and so that's what we did. My first training school going to Giants. Oh no, was it CCW? No, I went up there a couple times. I only got train there. But yeah, Giant Swinger. If I can use it for that and no, not even no. I probably just use a couple of money. We'll just say QT because I think I don't even use it until then. But anyway, that's how much when people be like, you don't love women's wrestling, or if somebody was like, you're misogynistic or you're this, I'm like, cap. I feel almost my moves are women's wrestling moves. See, uh, I fucking do like if I pull out a fucking if I pull out a Widow's Peak, some people like, oh, you've been watching your diva tapes. No, I just love women's wrestling. Most of my most of my stuff lately, I've been watching. In years, I would say, a couple years ago, Alice Green in the Ring was talking about the Church of Joshi, and that's when my eyes was open to Joshi wrestling. And and Stampede has been getting me into different Joshi wrestlers. So, you know, I'm invested in the Stardom and the Marigold, and I went to a Tokyo Joshi Pro show in Philadelphia so I want everybody to be like, oh, you're decided this to go. You don't like women's wrestling, Cap. So shut her ass up. Shut your ass up.
You got the
So,
nasty hotties. How would you not like women's wrestling?
bro, just like people be like, I told me that before. Oh, you just having the nasty eyes because you want them to do stuff for you, or you're this or that or whatever. And I'm like, if you really knew me, you just know I'm a very caring individual about women in general. Matter of fact, why would I have my own? I would tell people, why would I have my own group of women who really I am the boss, I am the leader, but like really to be honest, there is no leader in the Nazi Hotties. There's really just they're really just bosses on their own. Like there could be a female boss and there could be a female manager if I really wanted to, but no, they're the bosses of their own, and it just happened to, we come together in the Nasty team and the Nasty Hotties, because I have some badass boss ass chicks, and I will, and people, I think because they would get mad because I only gotta have baddies. You at least gotta be looking, you at least gotta be decent, and if I had a rating scale, you at least gotta be a 7 to get in. That's because I'm nice like that. At least you gotta be a 7 to get in. You gotta be decent looking. And, if I was doing ratings, but I'm not doing ratings. So, but I'm not doing ratings. But, this is this little backlash he always want to complain about. And I was like, you don't really know me. So, you're out here just complaining to complain. So, speaking of women's wrestling, um, there's a lot of women in like the West Coast area. There's a lot of women in the Midwest area. There's a lot of women that are popping up everywhere. The main one that I want to talk about, and we was talking about Mercedes doing really good stuff. Athena's doing great stuff. I'm gonna cover this. I don't know if you've seen it, Carlos, but I watched it recently. Seen some stuff on it. I gotta find the stream of like the whole event. But we won the World 2 that I seen like pictures and clips and stuff, and Dallas, Texas. That I think there's just down there. From what people's told me, the homies that I know in Dallas, Texas, they have this place, which is their own building and all that kind of stuff, and the promotion and everything. I don't know if like Athena bought that shit or she like told the manager kind of, I'm gonna run this. Um, you know, I don't know.
Is it in her? I know she has a wrestling school. Is it she just use a wrestling school, or is it a different building?
I think like she runs their wrestling school, like it's the Metroplex Wrestling School, or
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but I've heard the wrestling school too. Um, yeah, it's I like that shit because you're giving back to the industry. I hate saying industry, but you're giving back to the industry. And speaking of giving back, he gives back on a daily basis. The mayor of Canada, Stampede out here.
Nice.
Um,
What's going on, gentlemen? My space elite partner.
You surprised me. Was Jack Jameson next earlier? Wasn't
I could have him on here, but he's too busy doing debauchery right now on
he? Yeah,
Tuesdays.
so What's up,
Yeah.
Stampede?
So what are we talking about? What's the topic of the day? Or is there a
Oh,
topic?
there is a topic. The topic is that the women's wrestling right now, the women's wrestlers of today giving back, and I was talking about Athena giving back at her own show in Dallas, Texas. Um, we're on show. We run the world and bringing in, established talent and upcoming talent, and we always talk about Mercedes too, about people giving back in the wrestling space. So I was currently on that. So, but
Oh yeah,
Well, I
that's
think to what you're saying, I think that's one of the things where again, like where Tony he can't use all the women every week. So I think like I was saying when we first started the show, like allowing them to do their own independent shows. Again, they don't do house shows. They usually have weekends free, unless they're going to be on Collision. So I just think it's great that he allows them to do their own shows, like the promotion that Alex Windsor and Off Air doing over there in England. And Athena doing her own promotion. I believe Nyla's her champion, isn't she? Like, I just think it's really cool that he allows the talent to go off and still make independent wrestling stronger by allowing them to like use their time and even though in being generous enough, like because he knows he's not going to use them on the show, allow them to go work elsewhere and help elevate the women's wrestling in general.
yeah. Like Nyla Rose is the Eve champion. Chris Statlander, she holds a title over there. Queen Aminata just won a title in DPW. So
mhm.
they get around, not all of them, but a good portion of them. They do get a lot around to many places. Like Tekla was just, a few of them were down in CMLL, right? So,
Mhm.
like you said, like Carlos said, you can't use everyone on your roster in the 4 hours that they have allotted. It's just impossible. But when you construct it like that, you can have those women on the roster. They're getting a good paycheck, and they can go out to these other places, which is going to draw fans, which is going to draw money, which in turn draws exposure. So it's a nice ripple effect.
It is, and I think that it just it just makes good thing. I really gotta watch the stream back. Maybe she is a champion in Athena's show. So if that's the case, then cool. I know Nyla Rose is a champion in Eve. So um, you know, shout out to her. Always hilarious, like always funny. The whole British accent she be doing online on TikTok. I be seeing what the British hat and stuff. Saying, "This is the side I drive on. I drive on the right side of the road, and she's driving on the left side of the road," which is hilarious. Um,
And I'm going to bring
nah,
something up there that we're probably going to touch on Sunday. Um, there was a recent quote just put out. I'll read it word for word. You guys should be able to figure out who this is. Says, at a time when moving between these two promotions was considered unthinkable, I went out and did it. The fact that I could do this because I'm at the very center of women's wrestling world right now has become a huge source of confidence. That's also one of my strengths as a freelancer. And from now on, I want to keep doing things that make people say, wait, that's impossible. Anybody
who was
knows
that?
that? You don't know who that is? Carlos, you want to hazard a guess?
Mercedes
Nope.
or is it Natty?
Nope. I stumped them. Look at me go.
Yeah.
Athena.
No.
I don't know.
I don't have
I
class
give up.
till
Who is it?
I don't have class till 11 a.m. tomorrow, so you guys keep going. Sari.
Oh
Sorry.
wow.
Okay.
Sari appeared in Marigold one day and Stardom the next. Now, you know the history of those
Oh
two,
wow, that's crazy.
right? And who used to run it and what the affiliations they are that they have now. She's able to do that as a freelancer. She was in, like, just this month alone, she wrestled in Ring of Honor. She wrestled in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Marigold, Stardom, Sendai, anywhere she wants to go, she can go.
That's the best thing about being a freelancer.
Yeah, and she's doing. And on the 10th, she has her own pay per view that is sold out again. All
Hell
nine,
yeah.
all nine of them have sold out. Which is
I have I have learned, and not only learned, but I know this happens. Uh, if you don't want, if you can't have like, and this is, I think that because you, for me, I think for me as a person who I think, you know, I'm not as far as I think I am, or I'm still climbing on what I have to do of all these different goals and whatever. And then I'll meet certain people either online or at the Nightmare Factory, be like, "Man, I want to be where you at, Leroy." And I'm like, I ain't nowhere important that I think I am. But it was like, "Oh, you've been in a lot of different places." So it's
well,
like,
well, everybody has to start. You know, everybody starts at a base. You have to start from somewhere.
yeah.
You look back to where Suri was not that long ago. She was in WWE developmental.
I remember that in the schoolgirl outfit.
Dressed up as Japanese schoolgirl. Right? That was never going to work. And look at her now. You know, when she says she is at the top, she is. She is at the top of what's going on in women's wrestling. No doubt about it.
Yeah. It's like I was saying, like it I she probably, everybody has a starting point, my whole thing is like, I don't think I'm nowhere. Look, I am a star. I am one of the top stars in independent wrestling, but like, you always want to. I think as a performer wrestler, you want to keep going and be like, oh, I want to be this. I want to have this. I want to have this. And but you go to like, I go to the factory and I go to different places. It'll be like, oh man, you've been so many places that I want to be, and you be like, man, I have been so many places. Oh man, I have done this or whatever. And you look back and be like, not like the places, but like, man, I didn't know I was doing all that stuff. So I'm sure Sharif feels the same way of like, or now like I can run my own show and I have enough equity as a wrestler that I can do this shit because people want to come see me, and I know the feeling. So when I run my own show, I know that's gonna be fulfilling of like when I run Nasty Mania, and it's gonna happen. People like, oh, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
And
It's
she's
just gonna
passing
happen. So shut there.
and she's passing this like that mindset and her skill set. She's passing that along to people like that are coming up behind her. Everybody knows what Athena has done with Billy Stark, taking her under her wing, the minion, the whole, and that's helped Billy grow as a wrestler and as a character, as a personality on TV. Suri is doing that exact same thing with Chi. She's taken her under her wing. She's on every Suriism show. She's followed her to Maryville. She's been in Stardom with her. She's always by her side. But that's
Right.
you bring up the next generation because if you don't, you, know, you look behind and there's nothing there. Right? That's the last thing you want.
Yeah. So the
Carlos is Carlos is still beaming because I gave my wrestler of the week to Ethan Page. Look at him. This is wild.
Yeah, with a little smile on my face. That's gonna be my rap bastard of the week if we get to that segment.
It may never. He's the only guy to make any list that I did because I do a top three for Mike and Sped. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Like top three matches of the week, men's, women's, and tag team of the week. Jamie Hayter, yeah, Clean Out God about my tag team. So the only award was men's wrestler, but yeah, Ethan Page got it. That match he did with Dr. Wagner at Halloween Havoc, top notch, great stuff. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Highly recommend.
yeah, it's a it's a good thing when you give your Carlos people a good rest of the week and stuff. So I'm figuring
But
it's
one,
either
yeah.
Matt Caster or it's Jack Davidson that you said is. Yeah,
my favorite part of of the last paper Wrestle Dream was Jack Jameson and them all dancing out with Mercedes titles, shaking their groove thing.
I bet, I bet, I bet, I bet. That I was like,
I want
dog.
to before I forget, I want to give a shout out to an independent wrestler. We're talking about Cody Chun. Cody Chun. He wrestles a lot in Prestige. He wrestles a lot in West Coast Pro. He's killing it. He's somebody I think will eventually. I don't think he has the size to go to WWE, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him in AEW one of these days. He's excellent, man. He kills it. He's somebody really big on the West Coast here. If you ever again, Cody Chun, his last name is Chhun. If you ever see him on the card in your local promotions, go see him because the guy's amazing.
I know. It's a Cody Chun. I know
Yeah,
he
he's
came to
really
the
good.
Nightmare.
I love.
Came to the Nightmare Factory.
Nice.
Yeah. So shout out to Cody Chun. He was getting some training down in here at the factory. So now he's real cool. Him and his tag partner.
So you,
Yeah,
you
his
got
tag part. But he does independent stuff too. It's just again really good wrestling.
I'll have to put
What's
him
up,
on.
Fampy?
I'll have to put him on the list. Check out. He's 6'1", 210. So he's not like small. He's not,
No.
but he's not
Nice. He's
the
cool.
land of the giants big either. So
Yeah. But like he just doesn't have like the muscle development. He just had like again, it's just somebody who I would never think had a shot before. And now because of a company like AEW, I could definitely see him going there. When because he's not a body guy, he's just a really good wrestler. It's just nice to know there's other options for those guys.
Right. It's just
he's
it's good
wrestled in
stuff.
AEW before, actually, 2023
Yeah, nice.
against Ethan Page. Look at that.
There we go on
Cody,
Dark.
Cody Chum, Guillermo Rojas, and Sonic Oak versus Ethan Page, Isaiah Cassidy, and Matt Hardy. I'm going to
Yeah,
guess
Nice.
probably a dark or elevation.
Yeah,
yeah,
Dark.
probably. Yeah.
And that's no, honestly, that's one thing I miss about Dark and Dark Elevation because when they would tape those, they would always. And they do bring them in somewhat on Ring of Honor, so I definitely don't want to not include that. But when they would tape that hour before Dynamite, you would get to see all these independent wrestlers in your area. So like I got to meet Mighty Myra's brother there. That's another good woman who's killing it on the West Coast right now. Again, like to just see them wrestle, and then when I would see them advertise for a local show, like, oh man, now I want to go see these guys because I saw them on Dark Elevation. So it really helped me get familiarized with the local talent. And that's one thing I would love about if they brought back Dark Elevation, just to get more local talent seen. So when their name pops up in a local show, like you know who they are, and it makes you want to go support that local promotion more.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I think it does too. Still Ring of Honor, no, but yeah, Dark definitely did that. I had a couple. You know what the crazy part is? Like I had a couple matches in the pandemic, but then when they started doing darks, even a dark elevation, I was doing that shit. But like I was only happy they had me do like maybe one or two matches, but then they was like what's the joke was? Oh, we couldn't put you on TV because you're the shits. Um, uh, that's what I told it. Like, but that
You just
wasn't
talk you're saving your bump card, right? I'm saving the bump card.
yeah. So uh, I would always say, they were like people be like, oh, why you not getting in the ring? Stick. I was like, one, they don't want me to. They want that man to talk. One because I'm saving my bump card. I would always say that to people backstage. I'm saving my bump card. You got a bump in the ring. I ain't got to. I'm saving it up. But nah. So I saw a lot of people coming through the Atlanta area. And then like I think if I was in the area, I would do darks there or whatever. But yeah, it's a good thing. That's what I think Ring of Honor's for now. Um, Stuff like that. So I gotta talk to some people and whatever, see what's going on. Well, when it comes to Atlanta in December, See if I can get some stuff rocking, get some stuff moving. See if I can make an appearance. You know, so. But yeah, dark is definitely good for those people. Speaking of women's wrestling, and who's been on more darks than I can count, probably more than me. Which is her name is I call her Royal. Um, but her name is Shalance Royal, who's been on probably like three darks, and all made them entertaining. I feel like I want to tell you about um, Royal. Uh, she is like if if Julia can actually, it's like if Julia can actually sing and wrestle. I always tell people that's what her gimmick reminds me of. Um, because we knew Julia couldn't sing, but if Julia could actually sing and wrestle, so Shalance Royal, one of my nasty hotties. She's on recovery, covering for injury. So for people who don't know, Sam Pete, if you don't know, Carlos, if you don't know, people in the chat, go check out Solante Royal. She was having a run in OVW that actually was really good and shit. So um shout out to her. We was talking about OVW, talking about Carol Hero and stuff. So shout out to her. What up, Jeff? Young. Yeah. So anyway, next topic. The topic is this is a different topic that I did not write down, but I should write down. Oh, you know what? I'll bring it to you, Stampede, because you've seen a lot of wrestling. So I'm gonna say this to you. Do you think? And I'm gonna say this topic because fuck it, he's gonna get mad anyway. Do you think in today's wrestling world, and that there could be, do you think it's easier to be a babyface than a heel?
Oh, it's easier to be a heel. I would say.
Yep.
You just, I just find you have far more latitude as to what you can do, what you can say, the actions that you can take, liberties in the ring. There's a lot more shortcuts, I guess you could call them. As if you're operating out of a heel one. So, yeah, definitely.
Right. Okay. Uh, I definitely believe that it's so. My friend Dwayne, aka the Belt Guy, my manager, which thinks it's easier to be a babyface because I think he only says this because this motherfucker is really a heel. He's really a heel like that. Like he says, all I have to do go out with you, slap hands, cheer, tap the mat, and that's my baby face. I was like, it's not that easy, dog. It's not that easy. Do you think it's that easy to be a baby face? He's like, yeah, it's that easy. They're like, no, it's not. I was like, why do you think like most people other than the internet don't like Cody because he's what you call not even natural. He's a white meat baby face is what you call him. And it's hard to do that every week, every month, and have some edge to you and shit like that, especially on a WWE product. But like, I feel like it's harder to be a babyface than it is in this climate because everybody wants you to be a villain. Everybody wants you to turn you heel. Something's not going wrong. Everybody like, oh, turn this guy heel. Oh, turn this guy heel. Oh, it's not working. Turn this guy heel. Ah, you just turn this tag team heel. So that is the thing. So I didn't want to leak you out. The next topic that I have down here. Matter of fact, Stampede, since you're here, who is your breakout stars, your rising stars in independent wrestling, and who is the hottest stars in independent wrestling that you think there's going to be on more platforms even national TV.
Like that, some ones that should break out in 2026 that aren't quite there yet.
Yeah, yeah. Give me yours and the ones that are slept on. We call the next up. So
I think Alec Price and Tommy Billington, uh, both as singles and definitely as a tag team, they've worked really well together. I think those are two guys to keep an eye on. Um, Chi, I've been pushing her now for quite a while, but she's a really good young talent. She's over in Japan. So that's another one. Nixie XS. Um, Still needs a little bit of work in the ring, but she gets it. Like as far as
hmm he does.
and yeah, like she's got that down. Right? So when she latches on to somebody, they would have gotten a really good one. This guy's a pretty well known name, but he is a freelance and he does work the independents. He's not signed to a major promotion. One called Manders. It's another one to keep an eye on. Sapphire Reed over in England. I think she's got a ton of talent. Rain, uh, have a hard time pronouncing the last name. Laverkson, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. She's based out of England. That's another woman to keep an eye on. Really good talent. Like an '80s rocker kind of gimmick. So it's back to that era when you look at her. That's really what she exudes. So there's a lot of it. If you give up, there's lots of talent out there that you don't see on your Mondays or your Wednesdays and Fridays and Saturdays every week. Gotta go out to look for them. Huh?
So give me a talent that somebody like in this audience, the 450 people is watching and be like, you know what? I never seen this person in my life. I didn't know they were so slept on. Like two people. You just give me two. You have to give me one.
Outside of the ones that I just gave you,
Yeah, yeah. Outside of the ones that like you just gave me,
You
which you
just
gave
gave
me
me
a
a
lot.
bunch.
You gave me a lot.
I gave you quite a few there, Leroy.
I'll give you two. I'm gonna go with Kevin Blackwood, who again you should sign, and also the Midnight Heat. They're a fun tag team. They wrestle in Prestige and West Coast Pro. Those are two some eyes to keep an eye on. The guys who are Sinner and Saint currently in TNA, they're also killing on the independents. Them as well. And like I said earlier, Titus Alexander's another one.
I do have
Yeah,
another
Starboy
one.
Charlie.
Nightshade, I think, is one to keep an eye on. She operates out of England, but she's got herself onto that surrealism show. But she got there for something. Somebody seen something.
hmm
But uh, if you're familiar with Piper Niven, but not Piper Niven in WWE, this would be when she was Viper over in Red Pro. She reminds me a lot of her.
Mm.
Yeah. So she's definitely
Okay.
good size to her, like she's larger, but she moves really well. She can brawl, good look, good presentation. So she's definitely someone to keep an eye on.
Definitely. I've definitely seen some of her stuff. And no, Jeffrey Young says, y'all see wrestlers that are compared to Awesome Kong, Beth Phoenix, Jazz, um, and Medusa to the current wrestling world in the current wrestling world.
Who's the girl from I wanted who's the one that was in that's in Ohio Valley Wrestling that she's doing American Gladiator still. You know what I'm
Uh,
talking about.
Yeah, J Rod.
J Rod, she's gonna be a beast. So definitely
I,
J Rod. When you mention those women, J Rod comes to my mind immediately.
yeah, she has a definitely good look. She's a gorgeous woman. Um, I think
Muscular,
the
she's got the
only
size.
I think the only one like to be like, and this is not critical, but I told her this, and I'm sure she's gonna work on it. Like I told her like you just gotta like, and Jack Jameson who does the stuff backstage at One Fall. Um, but like I really told her like you have to you have to believe in what you're saying. You have to believe in what you're saying. It has to be meaningful. I told her like you're a heel because I'm gonna be honest because you look cool as hell. You look like you gonna fuck somebody up, but I gotta believe that you're gonna fuck somebody up because you're very hesitant on it, and like I think that's our main crutch. It's like believability that I feel like you got the look, you got the body, you look cool as hell. You look like, oh man, she's gonna really fuck somebody up. I gotta believe it when you say it because there's been a couple of times where in them promos where I don't really believe you gonna fuck somebody up. I don't believe you gonna put boost to them. So that's all. I think that's our only thing, and I think like I didn't really notice it until I noticed it on OVW, but it didn't really was no noticeable until in person. Um, he said Jazz, Awesome Kong. To be honest, the only person right now that in wrestling that I can say that reminds me of Jazz is Charity King, the I Say Women's Champion. She definitely gives Jazz vibes. Like for those who don't know who Charity King is, Charity King used to be in the kit. Well, what was their tag team name? I think it was not the Honeybees. I'm trying to think. I think I forget what it round with bees, but they used to be the NWA tag team champions. But anyway, uh, her and her tag partner, but mainly Charity King gave me jazz vibes when I saw her cut promos. But yeah, she reminds me of like jazz and any person I sing, and there are a lot of people who will try to be jazzes. They'll try to be like jazz, and there's a lot of people who try to be a Medusa and try to be a Beth Phoenix. But I would say Charity King is the one person that gives me jazz vibes. Or like if you told me if somebody was like Charity King is related to jazz, I'd be like I can see it, I can believe it because she gives that jazz kind of energy. I'll beat your ass energy basically.
And they're not. There's two women, and they're not. I mean, they're on LG, so they're signed to NXT. But they're two women who I think could actually really be powerhouses, like in that same kind of time, that same kind of presentation would be Bailey Humphrey and then Panina. Like those two women, like they have unique looks. They got size on them. Like I'm gonna be following those two women because they both have unique looks. They get it. But again, they'll be great heels. I really look forward to seeing what they do with that because they both are in that same kind of. If you're talking about women who have size who come on the screen, you're like, who's that? Look intimidating. Both those women definitely fit that bill.
Right.
I'll give
It's
you
a
one.
thing. Go ahead, Sammy.
The people mentioned in there. Beth Phoenix. And this woman is in AEW. A lot of times she gets compared to China, which I don't think is accurate. Which would be Megan Bain. I think she's more in line, like with what Beth used to bring.
Yes, yeah,
But she gets to China because she's big and she's muscular and that. But she's a much, much better worker than China was. She's more agile. Um, she's more fluid in the ring. But I think a Beth comparison to her would be a little bit more accurate.
yeah. Definitely give the best. Yeah, definitely. I don't know who would be Awesome Kong. I don't know who would be Medusa. So Jeff, I don't know. I don't know who would be like I don't know in today's climate who would be that I know of. Like there could be somebody that could be like the splendid image, like taking the stuff of Medusa and Awesome Kong. There was a woman I followed yesterday that's tall as hell. She's like 6'3". Her name's escape me right now, but she wrestles
Is
in
that the one? Is she the one in
MCW.
Ring of Honor? Is she the one that's with the premier athletes right now?
Nah,
Her name is
it's a
okay.
different. It's a different tall ass chick. I ain't gonna lie. She's got a good choke slam on. I'm not gonna lie. I forget her name right
Yep.
now.
You don't remember her
Um,
name, Stampede?
I do not.
but yeah, I follow her, and but yeah, she's really good. But that doesn't give me Medusa. But like she's tall as hell. She's 6'3", good choke slam, good boots, stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie. So this is where I need people to listen. I like tall women in wrestling. This shit is cool because you don't see them that many often. So we getting more tall ass women in wrestling. I'm about it that can actually really work, can really wrestle. I mess with it. I rock with it. Not gonna lie, I do have a thing for and it's not like traction wise or anything, but like wrestling wise, I do really like women that can really work, really wrestle their size. No matter if you're big or small. Um I just like that shit. You use your advantage. If you're 4 foot tall and you're like Roxanne height, but you use your body to your thing. You use like the cheap shots. If you're a heel, you take the knees out, or you use the legs, and you put the submission in there and whatever. That's my thing that I've learned being a wrestler. Though I just like if you use your body. So if you're a taller girl and you're booting people and you're doing the bicycle kicks and you're power bombing people. I fucking love that. So both of that thing. That's just And if you're like average height and you just got aggression like a mug like Robin Renegade's got aggression. She got the attitude. She I'll whoop your ass attitude is what I call
Well,
it.
I think too.
Um,
Like I think the problem, like when you're trying to think of a Medusa, I think the reason why it's hard is because women's wrestling has not really been elevated to where like before like a Medusa stood out. I think in today's climate, like there's so many great women wrestlers that there's so many that can be Medusa because there's so many of these women that really know how to wrestle. So I just think it's not. I think there's 100 Medusas out there now. And I'm not trying to talk bad about Medusa. I'm just saying like there's so many women that the women's wrestling has been elevated. But there's so many women that can see being the next Medusa.
oh, for sure. I I have a
Speaking of
couple of them.
women's wrestling, um, I had to read this like a few times to make sure I was reading it correctly. So you tell me what's wrong with this statement that I'm about to make. Sol Ruka decides to relinquish the women's speed championship instead of having someone defend it on her behalf. Ava says there will be a tournament to crown a new champion. Now, is it just me, or should that have taken place like last week with
Oh yeah,
the
she should have.
championship that
She
she
said
had?
to defend that. Should have gave it to my girl, her friend, to defend the speed and
Zarya, yeah.
Right, they did the
yeah.
exact opposite of what they just did tonight. Like, what are they doing?
I do not know.
I don't think they
Oh,
do either.
I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know.
Like, what's your
It's
what's your
wild.
what's your booking strategy? Darts and a board.
Not dark on the board.
Well, maybe they figure they can fit a lot of 3 minute matches on the show, so they want to do a tournament.
Jesus Christ. Like within the span of like not even a week. I don't know.
Stampede. I never got your opinion on this, but what's your thoughts um on two people actually, Zarya and Jada Parker?
I like the two of them. I think Zarya has a bit of a ceiling where she's at due to her size. I think Jada Parker will probably get a little bit further along on food chain. Not like world championship material. At least not in WWE.
I feel like Jada Parker could do a lot outside of Derby. I feel like that she's gotten wrestling so much that she's gotten enough. She's gotten good enough that she knows what she does good and she knows what she can improve on properly. And I feel like if she was ever to leave WWE, that she could do a lot of international stuff. I feel like she would have a. I'm not gonna lie, and this made me think of when I saw Persephone. I feel like she would be a big ass run. She would get a big ass run and seal him out, and she'd become a big ass baby face or a heel. But I feel like she would have a run because her and Persephone would have to like, face off each other. Because I always want to give credit to when I say stuff. Um, so shout out to my boy Starks at Covalent TV. Came up with this saying. Um, so lots of Fat Walkers compare Persephone to Jada Parker, and we want to see them face off each other and wrestle each other and stuff. Which would that be cool? Not gonna lie. Um, but I feel like she would be a huge star in Mexico. I feel like huge star in Mexico. It may do some stuff in Japan, but like her bag would be in Mexico. That's just like that would
But if
be
WWE was smart, they were doing that now. If they think that, then use Jada Parker in AAA like they're using Lola Vice. Like I love Lola Vice stuff more that in AAA than what she's doing in NXT because she gets to have fun and let loose. I mean, if they really wanted to, they could have it all. But they just don't. I mean, what, they could do that themselves.
They could be doing this,
yeah. I would like to see.
and they don't.
Go ahead.
They don't exactly.
Yeah, like Rossi
I would love to
can't.
see her in AAA.
Rossi can't even get a Zoom call. I'm serious. He said that in an interview. It's like they asked him, it's like, "Do you shop at Triple H much?" No, not really.
Who said this?
Rossi over at Marigold.
Damn, can't even get a
Well,
Zoom call. That's crazy.
no, Paul scooped Julia from him. Like Rossi served her up on a silver platter, and then he left Stardom and created Marigold. And that was
Then he
it.
lost the number.
Can't even get a goddamn. Damn.
Paul's doing the skit that his buddy does. Rossi, don't know him, never heard of him.
Nah, I stole his talent. I stole his talent and then whatever. I'm taking stuff in. Um, but yeah, that's what I like to. You know, I like to dive into the world of, and this is just a me thing, so you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But I like to dive into different promotions, even that I don't watch them on a regular basis. I like to dive in to see what their people are doing, people what's going on. So, that being said, the promotion that nobody's well, I don't really watch that much. That some people are watching. I won't say nobody's watching because that's disrespectful. Um, NWA. I decided that one day I decided what, I got friends at NWA. I'm gonna watch some NWA. I ain't watched it in a while. Somebody asked me about it. What's going on? I asked about the Magic Guy. Apparently, the Magic Guy's not there. A lot of stuff has changed. So I turned on NWA on, and who I saw on is Carissa Rivera. She was looking good, and the match was doing really good stuff. Then I saw it was Carissa Rivera versus Kenzie Page. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good, which it was. And apparently now they have storylines by the pool now. They're doing a lot of different other storylines, but the main storyline that I saw was Kenzie Page and her sister uh fighting. And apparently Kenzie has a problem with her sister Kylie. And her sister Kylie is out by the pool with her boyfriend, Hunter Drake. And she was mad that she wasn't fighting the battles, her own battles, basically. So that's what's going on in NWA, I see. Shout out to my boy Jaden Newman for getting on TV some more. And Tyler Stevens, the big man, getting on with their group on and stuff. The current reigning defending IWTV World Champions. So yeah, shout out to that. It was some good stuff. I mean, not gonna lie, this is totally, and I mean this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If y'all do not keep Kendi Page, not gonna lie, it's not looking good for you, NWA.
Well, I think the thing with NWA is it got too inconsistent. Like when I used to know it used to come on, I think it was Saturday mornings or whatever. Like it was on the weekends. Like when it had a consistent time slot and I could watch it, I would try to make a point to watch it. But then when they went to the CW app, now I think they're on Roku. Like there's it's just like when like it's moved around too much where it fell off my algorithm. Because I mean that's my thing. I'll turn on YouTube and if they're on my algorithm, I'll watch it. Like Ohio Valley Wrestling comes on there all the time. Prestige Wrestling comes on there all the time. West Coast Pro comes on there, but because they moved around so much, they fall off my algorithm, and I'm not going to go searching for it because it's just I have. Again, shout out to my fraternity brother Paul Damar's on there. Your boy Joey's on there. There's a lot of good wrestlers on there that again, like I know, but they're using the Good Brothers, the best bag getters ever. They're over there now as well. So they have a lot of talent, but it's just too much. It's just I've lost track of where it's at, unfortunately. So I don't make a point to try to watch it no more.
I'm not gonna lie, I tell people this by jokingly, but I also mean this sincerely. I am trying to be the greats of the greats bag getters. Okay, I'm
Just
trying to
hanging out with
get.
the Good Brothers, man.
Um,
You gotta see if you could be their another student. They're
I'm working on it. Hey, listen,
their
I'm getting on the
apprentice.
learning tree.
There you go.
So listen. I'm getting. Jeff Jarrett comes to one fall every now and then. I'll be trying to get the game, man. Listen, let's do the game over here. Jeffrey Young says, "Y'all remember Havoc versus Gail Kim versus Tara, and Havoc from TNA? Yeah, I do remember that match actually. Um, keyword is working your size. I also love, who doesn't get love a lot? Jessica Havoc doesn't get love because she works her size to the benefit. She knows she's a bigger
Oh
girl.
yeah,
She
she's nice.
knows
I like her. She's entertaining.
she knows she's I'm a whoop. If the saying goes, I'm gonna whoop your ass and I'm gonna dominate. And that's what it is. She ain't trying to do no hurricane runners or nothing like that. She ain't trying to do no other stuff other than kick your ass. That's what she does. Shout out to her, veteran out here. Like really, really. I always thought like she's always been slept on. Nobody really puts her on really good conversations. So shout out to her. Um, I know she's been in the
I'll be right
business
back,
for like
guys.
20 years and shit. I know she's been in the business for like 20 years and some shit. Yeah, so shout out to her. So, all right, Stampede, give me the lowdown of what's going on in the international scene.
Let's see. Well, we have Saya Kamatani. She got an upcoming match with Momo Watanabe for the IWGP Women's Strong title and the Wonder Stardom title. Saya is likely to win that because she's getting kind of pointed in the direction of Wrestle Kingdom. Um, could be Siri that she's fighting there. Kind of a winner take all deal. That would be a huge match. We have a new champion over in Marigold after this weekend. Two new champions. Victoria Yuzuki is the new, I believe, is the international champion. I will get that for you.
Damn, I can't really. I heard a little bit of to the two champions, but I don't know. You kind of a little low. I don't know what's going on.
The United National title.
There you go. I can hear you now.
Yeah, Victoria Yuzuki beat Mai Sakurai for that on Marigold Destiny this weekend. And there's a new Marigold World Champion, Miko Aono, beat Utami Hayashita for that title.
Hell yeah.
Excellent, excellent show. It was a long show. It was like 5 hours. So buckle in if you're going to watch the whole thing. Um, that's the show that Io Sky and Mayu Iwatani was on, that they made evented. They went 26 minutes, 28 seconds. Incredible match. as expected with those two. So, Eel would like to get back there. I don't know how frequent that is going to be, but I can see her going back at least one more. Eve has a show coming up first week in November. Uh, Willow Nightingale is on that one. That has their highest uh, attendance like for tickets so far. That one. So what else is going on? Um, Suri, like we mentioned her earlier, Suri is all over the place. She wrestles literally everywhere. Women in WWE, like they're killing it. We got the tag team tournament starting tomorrow in AEW. There's just so much good stuff going on. Especially with
So what do you grade the women's division in WWE? Like
the
what do you think about them? You don't even have to grade them. You just give your
oh
thoughts.
talent wise, probably like if I'm taking the whole roster into consideration, I'd put probably a very solid B.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, like they have a tremendous amount of talent there. Um, they don't use it all like they should, but I mean that happens in every promotion. You can't use everybody all at once, right?
Mm.
Um, but you go up and down that roster, it's significantly better than the men's, I think. Yeah. And AEW's women's roster right there with them. I did both of them the same grade. Um, Different style, like as far as what you would see week to week, but the women on both rosters, they both show out, consistently.
Well,
None of them beating Stardom though.
no, 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 no.
That's a whole other world. Though. Like that's a different style of everything. You know.
I was saying earlier how you've put me on. Well, I knew about some Joshi wrestlers, but you've definitely put me on to a lot of different wrestlers in Stardom and Tokyo Joshi Pro. So much that I wanted to go see a show, and I did, and it was really a great time. So
Yeah, like they're good. They're just enjoyable, and the matches are so different than what you see in North America. Like they're so precise in what they do, and they're so quick. And like their strikes and their kicks, you know, they connect. There's not a lot of leg slapping going on over there.
oh, no leg claps over
No
there.
leg slapping. When you hear
They're
something,
connected.
yeah, they're connecting. Like, yeah.
They're definitely connecting. So funny thing is, I was there when I was there, and uh, one of the girls, I can't think of her name. She was coming out, and she was trying to touch the camera, and the camera thing broke off. Uh, and I think it was a match with Trisadora and I think it was Trisadora and Via Van in there, and I was so surprised that
Yeah, I remember that match.
Trisadora came out. I don't think they ever announced it. I think she just came out in the garden, but I do remember Via Van being on there. Which anybody knows me. I'm very high on Via Van, and I've told her in person that she's an incredible wrestler. Like uh, some people just have like everything. I feel like she has everything. I feel like she has the promo skills. I feel like she has the look. She has her in ring is just different than a lot of people, which I like. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Mercedes being the in that what the interim champion is gonna put a light on the women of Ring of Honor, and especially Red Velvet and Via Van, which is Red Velvet's gotten really good, really improved a lot. Um, so definitely want to see Via Van more on TV, of course. But yeah, the kicks, everything, awesome, 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 awesome. Now, as we've been talking about women's wrestling a lot, which I love, I'm gonna switch it to some males since the guy. So for me, one of the best technical wrestlers going on right now that are doing his thing, as I've said it once before, and I'll say it again, is in that branch, and will be in that branch of technical wrestlers, chain wrestlers. Will be Darian Bankson because he has his own style. He's unique. He has that what he calls the catch flow style. And for those who be like, man, you be really putting over Darian a lot, and I'll be like, it's a reason why. It's because he's one of the top rising technical wrestlers. He has his own blend of just a lot of different stuff, lucha stuff, and he can talk that talk on the mic. Like he's not one of these technical wrestlers that can't talk. So he had a match with Adam Priest and Lee Moriarty. And like I said in the beginning of the entrance, it popped the shit out of me of him coming out to the music they was coming out to and then them dancing to it, and it's hilarious. But yeah, those are like the best technical wrestlers right now. When people be like, who are the best technical wrestlers right now? I would say, Darian Banks and Adam Priest, and then of course Lee Moriarty being the pure champion. Um, you want pure star wrestling with some sauce. There's Aaron Banks, and you got Adam Priest, throwback. The man's like, I always joke with him about Adam Priest looks like he's 45, but he's like 30. He's like 29, 30 or something like that in his 20s or whatever. But yeah, so shout out to that. If you haven't, go watch the replay or Jersey Championship Wrestling and go see what I'm talking about. Definitely go check that shit out. That's hilarious. But really good match. That whole card was really good. And while I'm on that, shout out to Billy Starks. Shout out to the homie for winning the cup, Luna Cup. Um, so faced Charles Mason in the finals. So, which that was different. I was like, why? I was like, this is supposed to be like a women's type tournament. Why is Charles Mason here? But here we go. Um, yeah, good stuff and shit. So, Stampede, as I was watching Jersey, what did you watch this weekend?
This past weekend,
This past weekend, what did you watch? I don't know if you watched Jersey Championship Wrestling, but it's
I did not. No. I was able to take in Collision. I was able to take in Halloween Havoc, and I was able to take in Marigold Destiny. I got
mm-hmm.
DPW locked and loaded, ready to go. I just haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah, I watched a little bit of it. It was good. I gotta watch some more of it. So shout out to DPW making the right decision and put the title on Queen Amanada. She's your queen to be. Sometimes I'm listening.
Could be her first of two titles when she gets through that tournament.
Could be. I wouldn't be mad. Wouldn't be mad at that. That would be fire.
Well, every team that's in that tournament could conceivably win it. The teams, the people in it are all built up enough and credible enough to hold those titles. That's what you want in a tournament.
I, I, I personally, selfishly, I wanted the Renegade Twins in there, and I know they wanted to be there into it, but
Right,
they're not.
Yeah, but they haven't been on TV. They're not built up. Like,
Yeah, they haven't been built up. Like I wanted them to be built up, but they haven't. But it is what it is.
I've been hearing about the Renegades for probably 15 months.
He's like, I'm getting tired of it.
Sorry, guys. I had to deal with something with my grandma. She's filling. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah. Well, from someone we used to have on our spaces all the time. It's always heard, oh, the Renegade Twins, the Renegade Twins. The Renegade Twins are getting paired with Mercedes Monet, you know. No. Never happened. For whatever reason, I don't know, but I know there was talks of them doing it. It just never came to fruition. But with the tag team division to go and tag team titles right around the corner, maybe that's where they insert them at once they get the division, belted up.
And there's gonna be some fans out here gonna be like, "We want this, we want this," and I'm like, "Calm it down. It could happen.
Yeah,
Calm it down."
people want everything all at once.
You be like, "Oh
Like,
yeah." I was like, I'll be
tell
like,
me,
"Don't you?"
tell me a good story, but like do it like right away, and don't make me wait. Like, well, that's not a good story. That's not how it works. Be patient. Nixon Newell and Miranda Ali's were backstage too, which is interesting.
That was surprising. I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm.
That caught me way off guard. Especially them you as a tag team. I was like, "Damn, y'all been tagging? That's crazy." I did not know that. She came to one fall and she came there singles. They had a singles match. I'm thinking, no, she's doing a singles stuff. Nah, a tag team. So shout out to her being in a tag team and whatever.
So they challenged KJ, I think, to a match. I don't know if anything will come out of it, but there was an interaction.
Well, Jeff says, which indie wrestler that can bring a Mark Henry Hall of Pain? Oh, easy. Me.
Calvin Tank.
I could do that. I could do that. No, in actual seriousness, I think there's a couple people that I can name that can do that shit. Like if they do it right, uh, a guy by the name of Lamar Diggs down here, he not only he has a Mark Henry bodysuit, but like he has that whole Mark Henry kind of type gimmick. So I could definitely see him doing it. Maybe like somebody like Isaiah Broner, I could see him do something like that. You know,
I think Calvin Takeman's a good shout out, like Stampede said. Who's the big guy? Who's the big guy that's in Ohio Valley Wrestling? He was just a champion recently. You know, that guy could be a possibility.
I know who you're talking about. He'd be good
Yeah,
too.
brain fart. Yeah.
It's a good big man out there. Uh, if he wasn't being crazy out here, I would say my boy Warden. Man, you know what? I'm glad you asked that, Jeffrey Young. Um, Thanks for being the questions things on Facebook. But now it's time because the show is named for it. But it's time for this new segment that I got called the Nasty Rally Thought of the Day, and I usually do it on Twitter, but I'm gonna have my thought of the day right now on this show. The thought of the day, Nasty Rally is what's the guy on NXT? Um, what the fuck is his name? He used to be on LG. Um,
Jasper Troy.
Jasper Troy. Jasper Troy.
He's bad. He's a
I
bad
don't
dude.
and I don't care if nobody gets this reference, but I'm saying it. Go look it up. Go look him up, and I'll also go follow this person when I say who it is. Jasper Troy is really a wannabe warden, wrestling's warden. Now, people don't know who Warden is. He is the real version of Jasper Troy, and I feel like somebody gave him that gimmick when they saw Warden, and they was like, "Oh, you're gonna have this gimmick," because I don't know. Warden used to come up with the change. He used to come out like Jasper Troy, and was actually, I ain't gonna lie, was a better wrestler than Jasper Troy. You keep it a buck. But we out here. I know, I know people who've seen that at the tryout, and I ain't gonna name no names, but you know who you are. You gave that to that person, and you said, "Ah, you're gonna be this person." So you're this is the dirty version of Warden, which that's fine and all, but you're not better than Warden. So that's all I gotta say, man. Listen, if you don't know like who is this Warden guy, well go look him up. His name is Wrestling Warden. He's on Twitter, Instagram. He's got almost got like a million views, but he needs more followers. I feel like he needs more stuff. People see his stuff. Yeah, he acts crazy a lot. Um, uh, he says he's not crazy, but he's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Um, he's like a, a big man should be working by. You know, what a big man should be working by. But yeah, comes out on our shows on FW talking about I'm not crazy. His name is Adrian Ward. But it goes by the wrestling's warden. So that's an incredible, great story though. But yeah, he's one of those things. I see he can do it, but he's acting all crazy. But he has a couple big men that can do that shit. I ain't gonna say me because I got my own thing. I could do that shit, but I'm too flashy for that shit. So another nasty reality thought of the day is tag team wrestling can be in the main event. Stop trying to treat it as a side act and stop trying to treat it as a sideshow because it's not. It's just as important as the world championship on wrestling shows. No matter if it's on the independents, no matter if it's on national TV companies like WWE, AEW, NWA, no matter, New Japan, it is a top tier division and should be treated like that. So when you're the world tag team champion, you are a world champion. And also it depends on how the title to defend it. So that's my nasty thoughts of the day.
To go on your
So
thought, I mean, I know Stampede was like, I think that's the big thing. Like when I was watching Wrestle Dream, like that was the big thing that it reminded me of like why I fell in love with when I first was hearing about AEW. And again I got YouTube television because I wanted to watch AEW wrestling. Like the first thing I noticed, like the contrast of the companies was the tag team division. Like it's what made me fall in love with AEW. Again, I think the three tag matches that we got before, including the women on this past previous weekend, was like that just shows you like fans care about tag team wrestling. If you book it correctly, if you let the emotion come out of it, like it should be showcased better. And even like with Dragon Lee and AJ Styles won the tag titles, like that was a really good match. Like if you give a shit about the division, you book it properly. Tag team wrestling can be your main event. I mean, we saw WrestleMania 39 with the Usos, you know, and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Like if you care about the division, like it's something, it can really be the main event. I think that's the one thing WWE's already shown us enough times that they don't care about the tag team wrestling. Again, like I've mentioned on our spaces, they just killed the whole tag team division for the MFT versus Wyatt sick feud that nobody wants to see. It's like so Tony Khan should really focus on tag team wrestling because that's one of the things that differentiates them from WWE. It's like it could be a main event. People care about it. Fans are into it. The talent cares about it. Focus on your tag team division because it's what separates you from one of the many things that separates them from WWE.
for real, I really think that that is the case. And so I think that tag team wrestling is important. I always, matter of fact, me being, well, we formed a tag team currently, but like I've been wanting to be in a tag team for a minute, but I just never really had the right partner. So it has been announced on Twitter, but I don't think it's got enough traction for me to tell you. So with all the people want to tell you that me, myself, and not just five myself, I don't know why. Me
You're going to be a
and
trio? You're
no,
triplet.
yeah, when we a triplet.
I always knew there had to be three of them.
Uh, no, I don't think that. I don't think anybody else can handle three of me. I'm gonna be honest. I can't even handle one of me.
The whole tag
But
team,
no,
it just to allude, touch on what Carlos said there. Like when AEW started, that was one of the main selling points of it. Like tons of top tier tag teams there, and then it kind of scaled off a bit and it kind of fell by the wayside. But these things always seem to go kind of ebbs and flows, right? And it's not just AEW; it's kind of industry wide, really. Like
Right.
AEW is back on the upswing with it now. Like they're starting to build up that division again. Uh, we just need everybody else to kind of get on board with that because New Japan's is not that good. Although they got their new tag team champions, I do like them. I think that's a good start, but they need teams to compete with, which right now they don't. But they also have the World Tag League going on right now, too. So hopefully they build something out of that, keep the teams together, and then move forward. Because that could be a jumping off point. WWE on the main roster, they have some amazing tag teams there. They just don't use them. Is the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, talent isn't the issue, and having the teams is not the issue. They have them. They
Booking
just,
is the problem.
yeah, but they got to
Um,
get on TV. They have to get them in the ring consistently with enough time to showcase what they can do. If they do that, the fans will buy in. Like you have Fraxium. Like they were, I think, easily the tag team of the year in 2024. But since the call up, what the hell have they done? Axiom just lost to the speed match tonight. Like, what are you doing? You know, they're going backwards, not forwards. Motor City Machine Guns, huge signing, one of the best tag teams to ever do it. And, they're collecting dust. Street Profits is another one. Right? So, DIY. I could keep going. Las Garzas, there's another one.
hmm
You know,
Like
and for some
they're
reason,
definitely
I
the
don't
mercy
know how
machine
this
is
is
treated
slipping
better.
their minds, but are they aware of the fact that they signed Penta and they've also signed Ray Phoenix? They were a tag team, a very successful one, and a very, very good one. They have yet to put them together.
I don't understand why they're not putting them together.
Like,
That gets me.
like Ray Phoenix, he's going to be teaming with some guy that just happens to be walking by the arena in a few weeks because he can with anybody. Like, it was
Hey,
his
you.
mother.
Hey, you want to tag?
Yeah. Hey, dude, you ever been in a tag team before? Would you like to be? Come on. Free ticket. Just stand on the
That's,
apron and look good. I was just
let
big
me
fan
do
of tag teams. Tag
let
teams.
me do all the work.
But it goes back to what we said. They don't care about the tag team wrestling. So the thing when they get good tag team wrestlers, like, oh, what could this guy be as a single star? Look at the Montez Ford thing. Like, instead of letting him go off and be a single star for a year and worrying about the team, they keep going back and forth. Should we or shouldn't we break them up? Should we or shouldn't we turn them heel? And fans feel lost. I don't even know what to think about it because that's their mentality. Is like, oh man. Then the same thing like what Stampy was saying with the Lucha Brothers. Instead of bringing them together, you brought them in separately. They thought they had something with Penta, so they put Phoenix on SmackDown. And now it's like obviously they don't have anything planned for Penta, so why not go make them a kick-ass tag team? But they don't because again they just want to race them as singles, losing the Dominic.
And they have kick ass tag teams that they don't currently use. So I don't even know if that would fix the situation, really. You know,
I don't know
you
why
put
they
the
don't
girls
want to
wherever
tag
you
them
want.
up.
If you're not going to use them, then it doesn't really matter. If you just got them fit. And Penta has been booked consistently. Like you always see him. Like you never not see him on TV. Right? Which
Right.
is which is good. He's visible. Everybody knows he's there. But he's not getting any further ahead. But he's also not slipping any further back. Like, he's the definition of on a treadmill. He's just running in place, right? Phoenix is just not running at all. So Put them together. What's the worst that could happen? You get a good match. Lucha Brothers and Traxxu? Sign me up for that. Want to see the Machine Guns?
Yeah, that seems like that's gonna be a banger.
Lucha Brothers and the
Man,
Profits? That's a no-brainer, man. Well, Las Garzas, right? The barely underrated tag team. Go do some of those things. Don't be throwing your tag team titles on a novelty act that you had no plan for.
right. It's just I don't get it. I don't get it. I just say it all the time. WWE doesn't make sense to me most of the time. I'm not gonna lie. And right now they're doing some shit. Like you told me about the Azaria stuff. I was like, man, that makes sense. But I'll take it. It would really have to something say. It would really have to something to take me to piss me off and not watch NXT. Um, other than other than Booker T
Oh,
gooning, like I can handle that. But it's been okay. NXT been okay.
oh, we got a question from Jeffrey there. Y'all remember Lana and Rusev in WWE? I do. I try not to because every time I remember those two, it leads me to that Bobby Lashley storyline, which
Oh, that god awful storyline.
see, this brought up painful bad memories for me, Leroy. That was horrible, horrible.
Ah,
Um,
um,
who would be comparable to them now? I don't know. I don't know if there is one, and I think that's a good thing that there's not.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like I think, okay, so this is just a while in the dark, just because I see it on the shows when he's on the shows. I imagine. Now I don't know if he's gonna get to do it on AEW, but if he does, know that Jeffrey, know that I said it here first. I have a feeling that Anthony Ogogo is gonna do a similar gimmick where a female valet on AEW or Ring of Honor. Now, if it happens, to say that hey, I predicted it was going to happen, but I just have a feeling about this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it might not happen, but I just seen it a couple times, and I feel like that's what he's doing to spread them out. But shout out to Anthony
Good.
Gogo. He's getting better and stuff.
You could. I mean, that's a it's a place to try things out. And, see what sticks, what works, what doesn't. It's possible.
Yeah, Ring of
But,
Honor and one fall.
old Rusev, I think he's finding out that the the grass greener thing is not always accurate. He's not been booked
I
very
know.
well. He got that.
I normally would say I feel bad for him, but I don't. So this
Yeah,
is
I think Rusev is his own worst enemy. I think he over. A good way to put it.
yeah.
He thinks more of what he's capable of and where he should be on the card than what his talent dictates.
I'll
He's a
say
mid
this in a nice.
he's a mid card guy, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like he could be, if he works that portion of the card, I think he'd be fine. He's also getting up there too. The guy's almost 40. He's not 40 already. He's getting a little long on the tooth. Granted, he had a whole year off because he's rested.
Well, I ain't even been on TV to be honest. I ain't seen him on TV once. He's supposed to be signed.
And I think it's safe to say, I'm going to go out on a limb here. It's pretty safe to say that we can all give up. I don't want him back there anyway because he books himself better than WWE ever did. But Karrion Kross and Starr, I don't think you'll see them back there because they just
Oh
made
no.
the entire entrance to Alistair and Zelina. Here you go.
I gotta say this.
Why did you never
This
use it for the two people you made it for initially? They were there. They're the
right.
same
Right.
age.
Come on, man.
Like Carrion is, I mean, Alistair is better in the ring than Carrion, but I think Carrion is more interesting creatively, like as far as some of the things he can come up with. So there's a counterbalance there, right? But Yeah, like like you give it to them, but you brought Karrion Cross up and you gave him a fucking Road Warrior gimmick, like not the good one, like one from the movie with the suspenders and the
Right.
hat. Like, don't do that. That's like it took him years to live that down, and in some instances he hadn't. It's a shame. He's killing it on the Indies though, man. Him and Scarlett.
He
She's back.
definitely is.
She's back in the ring.
Definitely is.
See, like they seem to be really enjoying what they're doing. So, as long as he's making enough coin to get to where he wants, yes, he'll wrestle Matt Riddle. But
I just need him to beat up Cheeseburger one time. I think that'd be funny.
he ate cheeseburger.
Yeah, I do.
What if he changed his name to Hot Dog? Would that help?
No, there's a wrestler named Hot Dog
Okay,
who
so
called me out.
can't do that.
Yeah, now there's another wrestler who called
Oh,
me out, but
okay. So you don't like cheeseburger and you can't do a hot dog. What about if he changed his name to like Footlong?
no.
No go.
That's not. That's good. Like I said to one of the girls at Fightful, I will say this: stop giving this man clout. Stop to giving this man campaign because he's gonna use this. His ego's gonna get bigger and bigger. And what y'all don't know about Cheese. He is an egomaniac. Okay, he is an egomaniac. He is a judgmental fuck egomaniac. I tried to be the nice one in the situation and tried to patch things up with him, being that I am a good guy and stuff. He tried to be in the tag team, try to I promoted it, all that shit. Didn't want to do nothing. I was like, you still talk to get the people gear so we can have matching gear. Nah, I don't want to do that. I wait till you get us bookings. Us? Hold on. Who made you to think that I'm going to be in control of the bookings? You gotta book us too. So nah, his egomaniac doesn't need to be on New Japan. I don't care if it's in his hometown. Nah, they need that shit for me. Campaign for me, goddammit. Like that's but I still ain't forgot how he cheated. Oh, I ain't really cheated. How he done his little cheating way to beat me in the last match. But I'm gonna let him have that win for right now because I'm focused on other shit. But yeah, just want to see his ass get whooped. It's also good to see his ass get whooped. I also would like carrying Cross to whoop, carrying slash Killer Cross to whoop on Actors Cougar. If I can't get my hands on him. But yeah, this is good shit. Anyway, uh, it's getting to that time. So it's getting to that time where we're near the end of the show. So that means it is your rap bastard of the week picks coming up. But for right now, I'm going to do the best heel in wrestling, the best heel on the indies. The best heel and on the indies that can be on TV is no doubt really Joe Alonzo. Joe Alonzo is having his run in AAW Pro and in Fourth Row. It's phenomenal. He is. When you think about a heel, I think about a guy has to have a punchable face and a punchable voice. Your voice gotta make me want to hit you in the face, and that's what Joe Alonzo does. And that's my guy. We used to have beef. We're good now, but he is a fantastic heel that is not on TV. Uh, that is on the indies. That is doing their thing. So, and the best heel in wrestling, no matter what company it is he's not even on TV. Get mad if you want to, but it's the facts of fact. The current reigning and defending Ashe Men's Champion is Darius Carter. He is the number one heel for me right now. Other than Don Callis as a manager. Don Callis is a heel manager, probably like the number one heel manager right now. But like wrestler wise, Darius Carter, the Black Rim Regal, slash mixed with Nick Bockwinkel, is the best heel in wrestling right now. Has been for a while, but needs to be said. So, who's your pick? Stampede.
I would go with Atticus Cougar.
Yeah, he's up there. That rat. He's a certified rat bastard, you know. So, is it just an all wrestling or is it in the indies?
Oh no, just in the Indies.
Those only indies. Who's the best heel in wrestling?
Uh, it kind of depends on what you view as a heel, right? Like, I mean, the work Moxley has done over the last year has been tremendous in that role. You just from his promos, his in-ring work, like how he carries himself, his mannerisms. Like he just ticks so many small boxes along the way to add up to the big picture. I don't see anybody better than him doing it. Um, Saya Kamatani has been a tremendous heel over in Stardom. She's done an amazing job. So there's two that jumped out at me. WWE, as far as like a true on heel, that's harder because it should have been set. It wasn't because they refused to get away from we're going to make you a heel, but we still want that entrance. We still want that crowd popping. So it didn't gel as well as it should have. So it's harder to judge in WWE because there's so many other external factors, I guess, that don't exactly play into the storyline or the character. Like Jay would make a good heel. Jay Uso would make a better heel than the does face. But are you giving up all those reactions? Cody would be far more interesting with a heel. But are you giving up all his reactions? It's a different setup over there. So I don't really
Yeah, and who would be his rival too? Yeah.
yeah. So it's like a true heel there. That's harder as to who really took that role. Jeffrey asked an interesting question too. Who would make a good Paul Heyman
A big Paul Heyman girl.
Yeah. If he keeps this vision thing going, right, and obviously Becky's not going to be in it, except there's no reason to have it. So who would you bring in to pair up with Heyman? That could
I would
kind
turn Tiffany Stratton heel. Turn Tiffany heel. Have to pair with Paul Heyman. Turn her heel desperately,
I
please.
like that because he's a piece of shit human being, Mr. Heyman, but you got lots of personality to burn, and Tiffany has none. So, yeah, I think
That would be money.
Yeah,
And you guys, I apologize. I have a little quick emergency. My grandma had a minor surgery, so we're gonna have to take her. But I'm gonna keep the stream open as we're driving. But to answer your question, Leroy, I want to give a shout out to KJ Orso, the former Fuego del Sol. He's doing amazing work as a heel. That guy deserves some love. He's killing it.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
Appreciate you guys having me on here. Again, I thank you. I'm gonna keep the stream going. Thanks for asking me. Thank you for jumping in, Stampede. Yeah, I'll keep talking if I can, but we have people coming over here right now. It's kind of a little bit shit show right now. Thank you guys.
It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate you coming by. But that also has, speaking of rat bastards and Casey Orso and actor Scoober, two rat bastards out here. Rat bastard of the week. My rat bastard of the week is gonna be, even if it was like a couple weeks, maybe like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. Uh, I'm gonna say Again, Darius Carter, Rap Bastard of the Week. So, Stampede, who's your Rap Bastard of the Week?
I don't even know if I had one. Leroy, Rat Bastard of the Week. So somebody that did something that I'm just really not fond of.
Yeah, that
Oh,
you can't stand.
well, I'll go with for this year. I'm going to go with Paul Levesque, who could probably win this award on a weekly basis. Right?
Yeah,
For
that's on a weekly basis. Yeah, okay,
for
yeah.
that, you know, I don't want to be the center of attention, and I don't want this. He posts a photo for Mania 2026 with him exactly front and center. Like you can't miss it. Like he's so full of shit. He just annoys me so much, among other things that he does. But yeah, he'll be my rap bastard of this week and probably like many weeks moving forward.
Many weeks and probably the year.
Yeah, no use for him.
As I always say this before I end the show. Don't be a rap bastard. But we have rap bastard of the week. I will say is this is a new segment that I'm going to go in because I like when Stampede's on here because he always puts me on something. This is a new segment for Stampede and myself, but mainly Stampede because he he can put you on some great stuff. So last segment of the show, it's going to be called Stampede puts you on. He's put you on and stuff so you can tap into some new wrestlers, some new people. Even that he's already said a lot of wrestlers before, but if you had to tell him a show or whatever to watch, what would you put somebody on?
For one that hasn't happened yet,
Yeah, yeah, one that hasn't happened that like they need to watch. Like,
there's there's two coming up. Um, Both would require you paying to get them essentially, um, but they're worth checking out. One is the Eve show, which is an all women's promotion over in England. They run a show once a month. The first week of November is their next show, but it's such an entertaining, 2.5 hours. Just an electric crowd, interactive. Like the in-ring announcer just draws you in. You're going to see women wrestlers that you've never seen before that you will like. You may not like all of them, but there's going to be enough there that you'll like that you're going to say, "I want to see this again." Right? And during the show, at least twice, you're going to see two burlesque shows during this event. I've never seen that in a wrestling show before, but it's just wildly entertaining. Uh, it's a British crowd, like a British English crowd, so they're wild, they're loud, they're vocal, they're completely immersed in what's going on. So if you like that kind of environment for a wrestling show, go over to YouTube, Eve Pro Wrestling, give them a subscription for a month and check them out. You'll get access to their entire library. So check them out. They are definitely worth the investment. And the other one, on more of an international scale, would be the Saria's on pay per view. But she brings people in from all over. She'll bring in independent workers. She got Matt Safoy on there from Stardom. She got Hashimoto she operates mostly Tokyo Joshi Pro. She has Shane from Eve on there. She has Chi Chi, who we've mentioned a couple of times on the show. I've seen every Saria, all 8 of them so far. Every one of them delivered. You will enjoy that show. Those would be my two, because everybody knows the big ones. Everybody knows what WWE is doing in the
yeah, yeah, for
That's
sure, for sure.
that's easy. You can find those. But go check out those two. You'll be glad that you did.
For real, for real. Mine is always Ashe Wrestling. Go check out their latest show, Close to Midnight. Also, go check out One Fall Wrestling, One FW, and yeah, one's on Triller Wednesdays, locally Tuesdays. I say wrestling.com, and yeah, that'll be it. So everybody, I appreciate you coming in, Stampede. Don't be a rat bastard. Stand and see my friends, and you know what? Support independent wrestling and your local independent wrestling. And if they're not local, go support it across your state or go travel to some or close to you. Stay nasty, my friends.